Hello students and dear viewers. Today I'm going to explain you the preparation of para-nitroacetanilide from acetanilide. So basically the glassware and chemicals which are used in this whole process includes a measuring cylinder in which you are going to measure your different chemicals. Then of course you will be needing a glass rod for stirring. Then you'll be needing a conical flask. Then you'll be needing a test tube, and you'll be needing a ice bath or a water bath, and a thermometer, and of course some different sized beakers, and finally the filter paper and funnels. So now here you are going to prepare this para-nitroacetanilide from acetanilide with a little bit of series of steps, right? So the first step is place 0.5 gram of acetanilide in a conical flask. So this is a conical flask. You will weigh 0.5 grams on the weighing balance, and then you will place this inside this conical flask. Now all the glassware is supposed to be washed and dried in the oven, washed, and after washing it's supposed to be rinsed also. And the process of rinsing I can explain you in my next video, how you are going to wash and rinse properly all the glassware, and then you are finally going to oven dry it above 100 degrees centigrade, right? So this glassware is then ready for the synthesis, because you know we are dealing with the organic chemicals, organic solvents, and they are very volatile in nature, and we do not need any contamination so that we can get our final product easily. So the first step, as I told you, is you have to put 0.5 gram of acetanilide in a conical flask. Now you have to add 1 ml each of acetic acid, that is glacial acetic acid, and concentrated sulfuric acid dropwise into this acetanilide flask, right? So for that you need to measure 1 ml of sulfuric acid and 1 ml of acetic acid in the measuring cylinder, and then you are going to pour that on this acetanilide in the dropwise manner. You remember, whenever you are progressing an organic reaction, you are supposed to be very slow, and you have to, it's a quote also, slow and steady wins the race. So you have to be very slow, and you have to add the compounds. Whenever any two organic compounds are added together, they are supposed to be added very slowly, and the rate of reaction is supposed to be progressed in a smooth and a slow manner, right? So in the same way, we are going to add this mixture of acids, that is acetic acid and sulfuric acid, in a dropwise manners in this flask that contains 0.5 gram of acetanilide. Now cool the flask in an ice bath. Now you are going to put this into an ice bath. Now ice bath is simply a container that contains cubes of ice, and you can put some water into it and it becomes an ice bath, right? So you will keep this mixture inside an ice bath. Now what question arises, what is the reason why we are keeping it in an ice bath? Because maybe it's giving us some sort of an exothermic reaction, or the flask becomes a little bit warm, so we do not need that. We do not need to rise the temperature, so we will keep this mixture inside this ice bath, right? So after that, cool, as I just told you, cool it in an ice bath. Then meanwhile you have to mix 5 to 6 drops each of concentrated nitric and concentrated sulfuric acid in a test tube, and cool that mixture also. Now for that you need this thing, a test tube, right? How much drops? 5 to 6 drops each of concentrated sulfuric and nitric acid in this test tube you have to add. Now when you are adding, again the same thing I'm going to repeat, that when you are going to add the two concentrated acids together, you have to be very slow, and you have to be very, you have to continue in a dropwise manner. The addition should be done in a dropwise manner, right? And you have to, and when you will add up all this, and you should take some time when these two acids are mixing together, you must take some time. Note down the time on your watch, and how much minutes, or a minute or 2 minutes you will take by adding these two acids together, and you will keep keep on stirring them, and then or shaking the test tube. You will shake and then you will add a drop, then again you will shake and then again you will add a drop, and this way you will add these two acids together, and then you will feel that it again becomes warm. So you are going to keep this test tube inside this ice bath, right? So now both the mixtures, that is this one, the mixture number 1 and the mixture number 2, are inside this ice bath, right? These are now in this ice bath, right? Because they might be having an exothermic reaction, so we do not need to exceed the temperature. So add this now nitrating mixture to the solution of acetanilide in a dropwise manner or drop by drop, with stirring and keeping the temperature below almost 10 degrees centigrade, or under, you can say, below 5 degrees centigrade. So what you will do, this is a nitrating mixture, that is a mixture, we call it a nitrating mixture, that is a mixture of sulfuric and a concentrated nitric acid is called a nitrating mixture. So now you are going to add this into this acetanilide mixture again in a dropwise manner, and again you can say slowly and gradually you are going to add this mixture into the acetanilide mixture, that is the nitrating mixture. You have to mix them slowly and gradually, right? And you have to maintain the temperature. I mean, when you are doing this, when you are mixing this, your temperature is supposed to be noted, and it is supposed to be below 10 degrees centigrade. Now you should take some time when you are adding these two mixtures together. Keep this thing in your mind. There is no rush. There is no, there's no rush in adding up this, that you are abruptly adding these two mixtures in a blink of an eye. Don't do that, okay? Just dropwise and just take your time in adding these two mixtures together, and keep on stirring, keep on shaking the flask when you are adding these two mixtures together, when you are adding a nitrating mixture into the acetanilide mixture, right? And you have to put a glass rod inside it for the stirring. You can see here, I can show you here, there's a glass rod. This is a glass rod for stirring. You will never stir the mixture, organics mixture, with a spatula. Always use a metallic spatula. Always use a glass rod, never a metallic spatula, right? So this is a glass rod, and you can see a thermometer. Thermometer is also inside this flask, so that you can note down the temperature, that it should not exceed 10 degrees centigrade. So you have to be very careful. Your eyes are supposed to be fixed on your watches, that whether the temperature is around 6 degrees centigrade, 7 degrees, not more than 6 to 7 degrees centigrade. You have to be very careful, right? And then after the addition of this entire mixture, now you'll take time when you are adding up this mixture. That means you must take few minutes when you are adding these two mixtures together. So now the reaction suggests us that after you add up all the mixture into it, you have to remove the flask from the ice bath and allow to stay for 1 hour, right? Now you will keep it out, and here you can see the flask here. Cover it with a piece of a filter paper and keep it for 1 hour, right? You can stir it occasionally. In between, you can keep the stirring occasionally with a glass rod, and you can cover it again there, and you have to keep it for 1 hour. After 1 hour, you are going to prepare a 50 ml solution of distilled water containing crushed ice, pieces of crushed ice. It should not be more than 50 ml. You can see here 50 ml, right? And now what are you going to do? That you have to pour this reaction mixture over this crushed pieces of water containing 50 ml of water containing crushed ice, slowly and gradually, while kept on stirring with a glass rod. You have to keep this stirring on when you are adding this reaction mixture over the crushed ice. You have to stir very nicely, right? And in 5 to 10 seconds, you are going to see crude para-nitroacetanilide as a yellow precipitates. They will separate out, and you will simply see them, very beautiful precipitates. They will be shown inside, they will be floating inside this crushed pieces of ice, right? So after that, you will again keep it for some time at some at a side. You will keep it for about 10 to 15 minutes. Just let it be like that, right? Let the precipitates form. Now again, you are going to use a Buchner funnel. I told you what is a Buchner funnel. Buchner funnel is a funnel that has got small holes inside it. If you do not have a Buchner funnel, you can use an ordinary funnel and you can do the filtration. That is by keeping a filter paper inside a funnel, and you can filter these precipitates, right? You will find yellow beautiful precipitates, and then when you will filter out all the compound, you will wash it with the distilled water, right? You will and how you're going to wash it, you are going to hold it, the funnel, the filtration flask, and the funnel, sorry, that contains your compound, that is your nitroaceanilide, and you're going to pour over the pour over the sides of the funnel that distilled water. And it is preferable if you take cool distilled water over the sides, and then you will wash it, and you will see that it is all washed, and you will see that you are left with the product that is our desired product, that is nitroaceanilide, pale yellow in color, and it is always almost 80% its yield is there, and only 20% is orthopara-nitroacetanilide that is also formed during this reaction process, but that is water soluble, so it will be washed out into the filtrate. So you will be left with only para-nitroacetanilide, that is 80% of your whole compound, right? So after the washing, you are going to take out onto a full some sort of a filter paper, right? And you will dry it in the air first for a while, and then you are going to dry this residue in an oven at about 100 degrees centigrade, right? Then after this process, this process ends here. Then you are going to recrystallize it with a small portion of this. You can take a crude product and you can recrystallize it with a rectified spirit, or simply you can use different methanols also, or ethanols, and then when pale yellow crystals of pure acetanilide are appeared, you will simply record the melting point. The melting point is supposed to be around 214 degrees centigrade. Then you are going to calculate the percentage yield of your compound. So in this way, you are going to prepare nitroacetanilide from acetanilide. These are whole the series of steps which you are supposed to follow to reach this to get this amazing product, that is pale yellow crystals of nitroacetanilide, and they will only be formed, they will only be you will get the product when you will follow these all steps as I just mentioned. There is no rush. I'm again repeating, there is no rush when you are mixing up any two compounds, when you are mixing up any two solvents, when you are organic solvents, when you are mixing any two acids. Please always follow a dropwise manner. Do not rush, or do not mix them with the speed. No, the speed is not needed here, right? So you have to follow each, and if you will follow all these steps, you will achieve a beautiful product called nitroacetanilide from acetanilide. I hope you understand all these steps with these beautiful drawings, and you will follow them, and you will easily perform this in the lab. Now, as I've demonstrated in the lab also, I've shown you the mechanism also. So now you will be able to easily, do it on your own. So hope to see you in my next video. Please learn properly from this and share with your friends, and do watch this again and again so that you would not miss any step from this, because if you will miss any step, you won't be able to get the product, and then you will come up with this heartbreaking result that you are not getting the precipitates. Then the teacher can't help you at that moment. You are supposed to follow the steps properly, then you will definitely achieve the product, that is nitroacetanilide, and you will be very happy to get your amazing product. So I hope you like it. Thanks